Morning, everyone. Welcome to this online workshop, Introduction to Digital Storytelling Tools and Applications. My name is Isabel Vieira from Casa do Professor in Braga, Portugal, and I'm very happy to be leading this session alongside with Anna and Mathilde. So before we start this creative journey, please make sure that you can see the shared screen and that you can hear me. If you have any technical issues, do not hesitate to reach out via the chat for support. So, this lesson will be divided into five. This lesson will be divided into 5 distinct parts that you can see on your screen. First of all, I will try to make sure that you understand what digital storytelling is. Then Mathilde will present some pros and cons of using digital tools, because we are perfectly aware and we understand that some of you may be reluctant about using digital storytelling tools. For this reason, we will show you some challenges and opportunities. Then Anna will introduce you to some digital tools, and you will learn how to use a very easy to use tool in your classroom. Then we will challenge our creativity together during the breakout rooms. And finally, we will proceed with reflections and comments and observations. By the end of this session, hopefully you will be able to define what digital storytelling is and understand its impact on early childhood education. You will be able to explore easy to use innovative tools. And of course, we hope that you will be able to bring them to life and to integrate all these tools into your teaching practices. It's very important to mention that this session is supposed to be interactive, so do not hesitate to provide some feedback, to ask questions. We want it to be a very challenging session. So let's get started. What is digital storytelling? That is a good question, and I can tell you that we are going to answer this question all together. So now I will invite you to access this Mentimeter. You will be presented with one question. What words come to your mind when you think about storytelling? You are supposed to answer, to provide up to 3 words, and then we will analyze all the answers together. So let's take a look at what everyone has shared. Anna, can you share the results, please?
Jens already shared the results. You need to change your screen to see it, I think.
Isabel, if you cannot see it, I can summarize it. I think the words that were used the most was creativity, apps, computer, and then we had additional like tablet, phone, computer, voice recordings, audiobooks, making small videos, using digital tools, comics and cartoons, visuals, overwhelming also, podcast, responsibility, interactive, animations, innovations. I think I covered them all. These are kind of the most used.
Okay, thank you very much, Jens. So if we bring all these words together, we will be able to present a perfect definition of what digital storytelling is. Of course, we will see later what digital storytelling is, but these words can help us understand and have a general idea of what it is. So Anna, can you share the... Okay, so to try to have a general idea of what digital storytelling is, so you just need to imagine combining traditional storytelling, as you know, with digital magic. For example, images, animations, sound to create captivating narratives, stories. Instead of just telling a story to the children themselves can co-create their own adventures using interactive tools, bringing characters to life, using voice recordings, for example, or simple animation. So that brings us to the words you have indicated in the Mentimeter activity. So digital storytelling offers a dynamic way for young learners to express themselves, develop communication skills, and unleash their creativity. So, but this is a lot of talking. So now I would invite you to watch this short video about digital storytelling in the classroom and its benefits.
I'm Dr. Nathan Lang-Rad, and I'm the Chief Education Officer at WeVideo. Our mission is truly to help students discover their voice. We believe all students have a story to tell, and we believe that we should help them tell a better story. So we not only want students to share their story, we want their story to truly make an impact in the world. So when they tell their story, it really influences their classmates, influences the community, the teachers, the educators in the building. It influences them to act, to do something within themselves. So they truly have inspired one another. In the traditional classroom, teachers have asked students to tell a story or maybe write a narrative or write an essay. And so now we are asking students to tell a story and by means of video creation. So digital storytelling is essentially sharing an experience, a past experience, or maybe even a current experience, but being able to tell it in a way that resonates with the listeners. And of course, capturing video, being able to add content along the way. Our job as educators is to get students to share those experiences and being able to share how they felt about a certain experience or what decisions led them to do something amazing and wonderful. If we want students to learn at the highest levels, then they have to have a say in the kinds of learning experiences that they are taking part in or they're exposed to. And so we'd rather create a video instead of a presentation because video is more meaningful to us. So if we want students to make an impact, we have to get them to share their voice.
Thank you very much. So it was a short video, but we can take two important sentences from this video. Storytelling is giving voice to the children by enabling them to share their stories. Digital storytelling is giving voice to the children, but with a huge impact on the others. And that's why it's important. But before we proceed, we would be interested in hearing about your experience. So we will invite you again to access the Mentimeter code so that you can just answer yes or no to a simple question. How have you ever used any digital storytelling tool before? You just need to answer yes or no.
All right, so far we can see we have the vast majority that has actually already used some digital storytelling tools, and a few that are either not sure or that have not yet used storytelling tools.
So as far as I have understood, most of us have already used digital storytelling tools, which is fantastic, because it will be easier for you to follow the session till the end. Anna, you can change the... Thank you very much. So now, before giving the floor to Mathilde, I wanted to think about that. How can we integrate these tools into early childhood education? Of course, we all know what digital storytelling tools are. Apparently, we all have experience, or most of us at least have experience in using digital storytelling tools. So now the essential is to know how to integrate them in our teaching practices. So we have here 4 main ideas. First of all, story creation. Children can create their own characters, narrating their stories and seeing them come alive on the screen. It's a wonderful way to spark their imagination, of course. We can also use interactive storytelling, turn traditional read aloud sessions into immersive experience by incorporating digital tools. We can also have collaborative projects. Children can work together to co-create stories, even if they are written stories. They can draw, they can narrate, and it's good to encourage collaboration and communication skills. And finally, we can explore cultural and personal narratives. It allows children to share their personal experiences as explore diverse perspectives through cultural stories. So this is we have here a lot of information, but I will summarize the main ideas. So there are 3 keys to success in choosing tools when you want to integrate them in your classroom. The first key is to choose a simple tool, that would be easy for both educators and young children to use. Simple. Then you are supposed to take into consideration the age of the children. The tool should be appropriate to the age of your target group, with features suitable for early learners. And finally, the tool should be flexible. Why? Because it should support both guided activities led by educators, but also child-led storytelling experiences. Those are the 3 keys: simple, age-appropriate, and flexible. During this session, till the end of the session, we will explore practical tools and strategies that you can use to implement digital storytelling effectively in your classroom. Together, we will discover how to make learning a joyful adventure through creativity and technology. And now, I'm going to give the floor to Mathilde, that is going to present the pros and cons of digital tools.
Good morning. My name is Mathilde. And now that we covered the fundamentals of digital storytelling, I want to walk you through some of its pros and cons. So the benefits and the challenges. At this point, you might be thinking that digital storytelling is great, that it's a great way to implement fun activities, or you also might be thinking that digital storytelling is difficult or it would be challenging to implement it in your classroom. So I would like to hear your thoughts on this topic. I will ask you to return to the Mentimeter and share your thoughts on the advantages of digital storytelling in early childhood education. So, what are the advantages that digital storytelling offers compared to traditional storytelling? We'll wait a few minutes so that you can answer. You have the QR code in the slide. Okay, I can see 2 responses already. If you are not seeing the Mentimeter answers, you can click on the top of your screen. It should say something like visualization options, and you can change your screen from Anna to Jens. So you can see the answers. So we already have 4. Let's wait a few more seconds. So advantages we have: be open-minded, enhances the children's digital competence and makes storytelling more interactive. It can enhance the experience, so same thing, on a more interactive and captivating way. It's engaging, so children like working with computers, that's true. Children can express themselves in a fun and engaging way. Children are very interested. It's something close to their life. Positive experiences with digital media, closer to the kids' daily life. Yeah, everyone is surrounded by digital media all the time. More possibilities to be creative. More sustainability, easy to save and store. Yeah, it shows the children productive and conscious ways on how to use digital tools. Okay, I think the answers are very similar, and I think you all have a very good idea of the advantages of digital storytelling. So let's now return to the presentation, and I will tell you a few advantages of digital storytelling. So, digital storytelling has indeed several benefits. First, engages children through interactive and visually appealing formats, like you said. Digital tools captivate children's attention and make learning more fun. So, it also makes the children involved in the learning process. Then, supports language development and communication skills, because it involves most of the time reading, speaking, writing, or listening. Encourages creativity and self-expression, so children are able to create their own stories, which fosters creativity and allows them to express themselves. And finally, introduces basic digital literacy skills, so children are more comfortable navigating digital content. So now I would like us to return to the Mentimeter, and I'm going to propose you that you rank these 4 benefits from the most important benefits to the least important benefits in your opinion. So which of these 4 topics is the most important in your opinion? We'll wait a few seconds. Okay, so it is changing, but on the fourth place, we have introducing basic digital literacy skills, then supporting language development, then engaging children through interactive and visually appealing formats, and the first benefit that you find most important is encouraging creativity and self-expression. Okay. Thank you very much. And now I would like us to keep on the Mentimeter and do the same thing as we've done before. And I would like you to share your thoughts on the challenges. So before I tell you some of the challenges, what do you think are the challenges of using digital storytelling in early childhood education? So what is preventing educators from using digital tools in the classroom? If you have not used digital tools, or if you know someone who doesn't use digital tools, why is that? We have one response, lack of resources in schools. And we'll talk about that. Screen time is not considered good. Yeah. Not all institutions are digitally well equipped. Too much time in front of the screen, staying focused and use the tools for this reason. Most apps programs cost money. Yes, so again, the lack of resources, working with big groups, maybe not possible for every school to support. Yeah, and with larger groups. Teachers need to understand their functions and have the resources to use them. Yes, so I think that most of the answers are about the lack of resources or lack of training. So we can continue, and indeed, digital storytelling has several challenges. So I think you already seen the presentation. First, like you said, one of the challenges is technical barriers and the need for training. Storytelling obviously requires a device, so a computer, a tablet, or a smartphone, and most of the time, internet connection. Also, the teachers need to be trained and know how to use these digital tools. Online safety and privacy concerns. Obviously, the tools that we choose need to comply with safety regulations, and that's something that we are going to talk about in a few minutes. Managing children's screen time. So we need to monitor children's screen time and make sure that we provide individualized support and attention, which is obviously harder to do with bigger groups of kids, and finding age-appropriate tools. So we need to choose digital storytelling tools that align with the developmental stage of the learners and not overwhelm them. So let's return one last time to the Mentimeter and do the same thing. Rank these 4 topics from the most challenging to the least challenging in your opinion. So what is the biggest challenge? I think most of you said the technical barriers, so let's see if that's going to be the biggest challenge. Okay, on the fourth place, we have managing screen time, then technical barriers, finding age-appropriate tools, and biggest challenge, online safety and privacy concerns. Okay, so let's talk about privacy and safety in using digital storytelling tools. So we need to consider safety, privacy, and collaboration. Regarding safety, use child-friendly platforms with secure settings. So the platforms that we use need to have content moderation and security settings. We need also to ensure that there is an adult supervising during digital activities. We need to find a healthy balance between online time and offline activities. While we learned that digital storytelling has a lot of benefits, excessive screen time can also negatively impact children's well-being. Then privacy, we need to choose tools that follow child data protection laws to safeguard personal information. If we record voices, images, or videos of children, we need to obtain parental consent. So create a consent form for the parents to sign. We need to encourage children to use avatars or fictional names, and that prevents exposing any personal details. And finally, collaboration. We need to teach respectful teamwork and digital communication. And we need to share stories on secure and private platforms. So never share anything publicly. Use platforms like Padlet or a class website to share only for those who have a specific link. And set clear guidelines for turn-taking and constructive feedback. So when using digital storytelling, we need to take these topics into consideration. We need to choose child-friendly platforms. We need to supervise their use and foster privacy and collaboration. So now I will pass the word to Anna, who will continue with the topic of digital storytelling tools.
Hello again. My name is Anna, as my colleagues have said. Now I'm going to give you some info on a more practical part. We are going to take everything that Isabel and Matilda had said, and now we are going to get our hands and minds into some digital storytelling tools. So most of you probably already use some digital storytelling tools without even knowing, because sometimes people don't really see these kind of tools as digital storytelling tools. So we have YouTube, video cameras, audio recorders, and photographs. With YouTube, you can do a lot of stuff. There's already tons and tons of videos of people telling stories and creating stories on YouTube that you can research and use in your classroom. So children can also do their own stories. They can record it, they can share it, they can create their own platform, so they can do different storytelling projects. With a video camera, you can either use your tablet, your phone, or even a real camera. You can act out stories with children, do little theaters, create stop motion animation. You can record puppet shows. You can do shadow theater. You have a lot of options to integrate these kind of tools into your storytelling to make it more creative and interactive. You can also use audio recorders for oral storytelling to complement the traditional storytelling. For example, you can have a book and you can pre-record some sounds, some music that you want to use while you are telling the story to your kids. For example, you can have some water sounds for when during the scene it appears water, or you can have some monster sounds. You can have birds chirping in the background. You can use it for a lot of creative and fun ways. Or you can even create your own audiobook to help kids listen and create stories in a different way. And also you can use photographs with the cameras. You can use them to create a sequence. You can use it to create photo books. You can use it to create storybooks. You can use it for slideshows. You can use it very differently and then create tons of different stories with these kind of tools. So now that we talked a bit about the more common, we are going to talk about 4 specific that we pre-selected just for this workshop. We have these 4 digital tools. We chose 2 tools that we can use on your tablet and 2 that you can use on your computer. Today we are going to focus on the ones that you can use on your computer because it's easier for us to show it to you since we are doing this on Zoom. But I'm going to show you briefly that we inserted all the links here that you can see, and we are going to put them in the chat, and we are also going to insert them in the Padlet so everyone can see these kind of tools. Each and every one has a tutorial integrated that we are not going to see because it would take a lot of time to see each and every tutorial. So then you can watch it later on the break or when you have some time. Here is Puppet Pals. So these 2, Fantastic and Puppet Pals, are made for tablets or phones. And with them, you can create animated stories with voice narration. Puppet Pals, you can give life to photographs or drawings of the kids. For example, you can have the kid do a specific drawing, and with this app, you can use that drawing to make a little puppet and use it on the story. In Fantastic, you have pre-made characters, but you can insert a photograph or a picture in the face of the character so kids can use it as themselves and create different stories. And then we are going to go for the Story Jumper and My Storybook, which are the ones that we are going to see today. So My Storybook is a more simpler version. We have the website here, and I'm just going to give you a quick tour. You have to create a login so you can get started. You can create a storybook. You give a title. For example, in this case, we can call it CST. You can give a description like creative storytelling. And then you can choose a background. It can either be a color. You can choose, for example, this one. It pops up. Then you can insert images, animals, lots of different stuff. Then you can change the size. They start to pop up on the screen. I clicked on a lot of stuff. It takes some time to load. And then you can change the people. You can change the skin tone. You can change the hair. You can do clothes, a lot of different things. And then you can add some text. Hello. It's quite user-friendly. And then you just click on Add the Page. And then we are going to use this one today. This one is a bit different. I'm going to do a quick rundown. Just doing a little sign in with my account. So you can use this in different ways. For example, teachers can import their class from Google Classroom. They can add a class and send a link with a class for kids to join in. Or you can create the books. They have some templates that you can use. The ABCs, All About Me, Dragon, Monster. Today we will be exploring the monster part. The dragon part, for example, you just give a random name and it makes a book with either a girl or a boy. And you also have tutorials, and as you can see, it has a pre-made story that you can change. Don't forget always to save and exit, and then once it's finished, you can read it. There are a lot of features in this that you can use. Just a quick rundown before the breakout rooms. For example, here you have the title page. And just as the other one, you can add different elements. You can add props, characters, search for props or characters. You can add scenes. You can also search. There's also an AI tool that you can use, AI pictures. And this one has something different from the other one, where you can record your own voice telling the story. And at the end, you save and exit, and you can see your book. And you can either download it, you can comment on other people's books, you can share, you can edit, or you can even buy the book at the end. So now we are going to go for some hands-on practice. We are going to the breakout rooms where we are going to do a story with each other. Our facilitators will have a template for us to use today, and then we can edit that story. And we have some questions that we are going to put in the chat that if we have some time, we can discuss it at the end of the breakout room to think about when we all come back together. If we have a little 5 minutes before it ends, I think we are good on time. So let's go to the breakout rooms. Jens, if you don't mind, I'm going to stop. So I don't know about all of your rooms. In my room, we spend a lot of time thinking about the character and seeing what we would do in our story. We ended up doing a really cool story where the monster had a big mirror in front of him, thought that it had a new friend, and then end up everything okay with the townspeople. Everyone ended up with a really happy ending. Unfortunately, we were so involved in doing the book, we did not have time to think about all of the questions that we had for the breakout room, but I invite everyone to enter our Padlet. I think the link to the Padlet is already in the chat room, so everyone can, just go there, give their quick thoughts about everything that we talked about in this workshop, all the questions that we had for our breakout rooms. Even if they want, they can publish their own stories in our Padlet if they want to explore a bit of the digital tool Story Jumper. I don't know if anyone else wants to share a bit of their experience in the chat rooms. I don't know who was the other facilitator, Isabel or Mathilde.
Actually, we were both facilitators, so sadly it was short time, but we managed to have a character, Robin, that had an excellent idea to build a playground for the monster, because the monster would be happy playing. So the children of the kingdom decided to join the monster since they saw it was so happy to play. And then the monster became the best friend of the children of the kingdom, and then he was the protector, the savior against all dangers. And of course, they lived happily ever after.
That's a really cool story. We will try to share everything that we did today on our Padlet and also everything that we will do in the afternoon. So before finishing up, here are some takeaways for today's workshop. So we can use digital storytelling to enhance learning and engage young children, because let's face it, either we like it or not, in the modern age, children will have to use digital tools in their daily lives, even when they are adults. So our job as educators, parents, sisters, friends, is to guide the kids on how to properly use them. There are a lot of user-friendly tools, the ones that I explained. We have YouTube also, the phones, the recorders, Puppet Pals, My Storybook. There are tons of others that will be explained in the second part of this workshop by our other colleagues from the ECEC. But we also have to keep in mind all the safety, privacy, and screen time balance, because we need to keep it safe for the kids, as Mathilde has perfectly showed us. So the next steps, I told you before, we would like you to share your experience in the Padlet of this project. And I want to thank you all for being with us here today. I hope you enjoyed the session as much as we did. And I'm going to give the floor to Jens